Oh, we have a very, very, very fun episode today. We got the wonderful Whitney Cummings on. But before we start the show, we'd like to thank our sponsor. If you'd like more info or just want to use TigerBelly codes, you can go to viori.com/belly for the most and softest clothing for yoga, and betterhelp.com/belly and athleticgreens.com/belly. Use those codes, get some discounts, and also support the show at the same time. Also, if you want to grab your TigerBelly collectible, just scan the QR code on the screen or hit the link down in the description. Play the intro music.
First of all, that's rude what you just did.
I like it, Whitney. That was funny.
That was bad.
Yeah. That was rude what you just did. Yeah, because, why can't a man look at his girlfriend, a friend of, and go, nice nipples?
Yeah, why can't that happen?
And it's not a sexual thing. I've never looked at you in a sexual way.
It's a respect thing.
You know what I mean? I look at you like
I'm calling Ronan Farrow because I actually prefer sexual abuse to emotional abuse, and that's what you're doing right now.
Oh, really?
Like, I've never wanted to have sex with you. The only thing worse than a guy sexually harassing you is emotionally harassing.
Okay, let me restate what I just said then, okay? Let me try to get to it right. Obviously, you're attractive, and there are men that like you, right? I just don't find you attractive. That's my own personal taste. But
why are you mocking the person that thinks
I'm not.
I got the
I'm not doing
they
that.
have Down
No.
syndrome? Why are you doing an impression of your brother when you do that?
Guys that look like Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Handsome dudes with pecs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And six packs.
Ugh.
But they're also very.
Stop giving Khalyla ideas of people to date.
yeah. But I looked at your nipples, and it was not in a sexual way.
Said it in a higher register.
Oh
I think
God.
we would say, nice nipples. Say 10.
Try it higher.
Higher.
Oh, nice nipples.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's good.
Is that better?
I don't think any nipples to men are not nice. Like when I think that a lot of the like breast hating, but it comes from our women ourselves.
Yeah,
like,
I think so.
When I made that robot, I went to the sex robot factory, and they told me the number one request from men when they were customizing, do I make more noise? Or do you have more? Do you want to open that little Pandora's box over there?
All right. Go ahead.
No, sorry.
No. I want you to continue, but now I have something to say.
Well,
but go
dude, I
ahead.
had a whole plan of something I was going to say up top, and of course, I don't know why I was. Of course, we're already talking about nipples. That the number one request from people that have sex, make sex dolls, is dark, very large nipples.
Big areolas or
That's
nipples?
kind of weird because think about it, Whitney. Women, when they get pregnant and prepare for breastfeeding, their nipples become charcoal looking because it allows the baby for more contrast when the baby's eyes
find the
haven't.
nipple.
Exactly. So like men just are babies.
Black nipple?
So your nipples turn into X-Men.
Dude, they become
They turn into
dark.
Mystique.
Mystique. It could transform.
They're like a mood ring.
Yeah.
And yeah, exactly. And then larger. And then they have to get larger.
Larger.
Mm-hmm.
I have a
Get bigger.
question. Why do you keep referring it to a robot? Is it a doll or a robot?
It's a sex robot.
He's gonna have a few.
No, what I'm saying is a robot has talk and it's animatronic, right?
Okay, I get it. You don't follow me on Instagram. I've only posted about it for 3 years straight.
No, I've seen it. I've just never seen it move. Does it talk and whatnot?
It's a doll when it's off, and it's a robot when it's on.
And when you turn it on, what does it do?
It can talk. It can engage with you.
Oh, I did not know. So
Wait,
my
no.
bad. It is a robot. My bad. It is a robot.
These questions there are reasons for this question. He's gonna try to court your robot next.
Please.
No.
Yeah,
I
by the way,
think
so.
it would go great with all these weird ass fucking statues you have in your in your foyer.
Yeah.
Wait, I just found out that we've collectively as a society been having sex the wrong way.
Hold up. I just want to say one last thing about your robot. Does it have a vaginal part?
It does, and I put pantyhose.
But there's a hole that you can stick your penis in.
Yes.
Okay, I don't want it then. Go ahead.
That was the.
I mean, you can stick someone else's penis in and watch. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know what you're into these
What
days.
about if it had a penis?
No, I wouldn't. What? I'm not gay, baby.
Okay.
Can I say something just really fast?
Yeah, go ahead.
Claim my space here.
Yeah.
We've all been touring a lot, and now that the pandemic's over, I'm going to say something sincere.
Go ahead.
I'm going to say something sincere.
For once in
And
your
it's
life,
going
go
to make
ahead.
me emotional.
Go ahead.
So I just did, I don't know, 50 cities, or, we had to make up all those dates and, shot a special like at the end and was getting ready to shoot the special. And when I say that the TigerBelly fans are the most gracious, kind, some have a milky eye, but mostly the most, because, and they come in your merch and they're like, they're so, I know you know this, but for them to come to someone else's show and be so gracious and so like, I mean, it's a testament to you, we do need to talk about because your podcast, it is a telenovela at this point. But they are just the most wonderful people.
They're the best.
That
the
hurts
very
me.
best.
That hurts me.
Okay.
It really bums me out that they would even go to your show.
Trust me. It's like people in a cult that are like, can you help us get out? And I just want to say that. I did not say this on Tim Jones'
on behalf
podcast.
of my fans, God bless you and take care. And they love you. We love you. And you're a part of our family. So that's why. Some
that don't, and that's fine. It's very, I feel like we're at a point where it's not about how many tickets you're selling or how many people. It's the quality of your fans. If you don't want to hang out with your fans, what are we doing?
Yeah, I have great fans.
We really do.
You both do.
We really do.
It is because now you can tell, the Stern fans, the Rogan fans, like it's the Segura, the Mom's House fans. I know that everyone's fan of everyone.
When we had our live show, I had and I'm so socially anxious. I didn't have a problem hugging anyone.
You did not.
Who came up to my face. I was the huggiest I'd ever been in my life, and I was happy to hold them.
It's a really cool thing because in the beginning, I toured. You're not one of these people, Bobby, but where I would open for people and their fans were like, they would want to just get off stage as quickly as possible. Like they didn't like their own fans. And you'd see I was like, oh God, would be a nightmare of your own creation. If by whatever you talk about or whatever you do, you have to perform.
I think the problem though is this. I love Joe McHale.
Oh.
Joel?
Is that his name? Joel McHale?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's his name, right?
Yeah.
I love Joel McHale, but I know that he dabbles in podcasting, but most of his fans are from things that they've seen him, like Community fans or whatever, acting, his acting, maybe some of his hosting stuff.
How badly does he want to kill Dak Shepard?
You know what I mean?
Imagine?
I think podcasting fans are different because they sort of follow along with your life. They know kind of they're in sync with your point of view,
and they already accept you for whatever it is you are.
It's a different fan base.
Well, it's also people that are super, super funny. Y'all play to the top of your intelligence. You're also very open about, and people. That's all I'm going to say. They're just very forgiving and loving, and that's all.
Thanks for saying that, Whitney.
Thank you for saying that.
It was really made me just so happy for you both, because a lot of times you look at people, this person's on a TV show, they made it. This person is doing a big tour, they made it. They're playing Radio City, they got to. I kind of think the new you made it is you like your fans. You want to be friends with the people that come and see you.
Well, then let me get one of my resentments out then. You know what I mean?
What a switch.
Yeah, let me just.
Since
we're starting in a positive vibe, let me get the negativity out of the way.
I did just listen to your episode with Neil Brennan. I do believe that you two should start a podcast called Sore Winners. And it's just you two talking about how horrible your life is when everyone else looks up to you.
Oh, okay. So let me get the go ahead.
Nothing. I was going to give you a high five, but you thought I was raising my hand.
Yeah, go ahead. High five.
They're out of sync right now.
We've been broken up a month.
More awkward than I thought it was going to be.
So I just have a little thing. Just clear it up for me. So the other night we're
about Schaumburg Improv.
No, we already got that out of the way. That's why I would never bring that up again.
It actually is true.
Yeah,
you actually haven't.
Do you know why? Because we resolved that situation. Okay. We have a new situation.
Well, there was no situation. I never did anything wrong, but okay.
Well, that's your point of view.
That's my truth.
Yeah. That's your truth. But so the other night we were performing together.
You realize
can I get out?
Okay, I just want to say the thing you got mad at me about at that Schaumburg Improv is that I laughed too loudly at your jokes on stage.
That's not what it was. And how dare you? And you're bringing it back up. I thought we resolved it, but if you want to bring it back up, I will.
I just want you to know. One day you will go, oh, that's right, Whitney. You love too loud, and I'm
on stage, and you're laughing, and there's three other customers standing with you, laughing together during a show.
Yeah, we were watching your show and laughing. That's what
standing up.
That's your job.
Wait, you do that a lot to other comics, though.
I'm not arguing.
I've never seen Bobby laugh at another comic.
I have. I have.
I'm sorry. I'll shut
Can I get the thing out of my way?
Of course.
All
I'll
right.
shut
Thank you. So, and I like what you're trying to do, divert. But let's get to the thing. So, just please.
Okay.
So, the other night,
Sobriety.
you knew I was after you.
Right. Okay.
Look at right. So she's about to bring me up,
Mm-hmm.
and she goes, "This next comic, I love dearly." Right?
Yeah.
And I go, in my heart, I'm like, "Here we are, my friend." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The connection's already there. I'm a big fan. I go, did not know that, but you know what? She said it out loud, and that's great.
Gonna say the
right?
credits, yeah.
Yeah, and he's at the top of his game. I go,
Ladies and gentlemen, Brendan Schaub.
yeah, and then you go, he did an album called Khalyla, and then my heart started going, right, because it's like all coming to me, because I know Jeselnik's back there.
And I'm freaking out because I'm like, what the fuck was it called? What was it called? Macbeth? What was it called? Moby Dick?
Right. And my old self would have let it go and let you just bring up Anthony Jeselnik.
No,
but I did not do
that'd be dumb.
But I did not do that, right? My instinct took over. I was in the audience, and I screamed at the top of my lungs in a packed room, right? What are you doing? Something like that, right? And then you looked at me, and then you kind of went, you frazzled. But let me just ask you, what was that? You just forgot who was next?
I'll tell you what.
Like, I don't understand, because I saw you backstage, you knew,
Yes.
and you saw the lineup.
Yep.
So I don't know what the confusion was.
Yep. So I haven't been to the Comedy Store in a while. I've been touring. It used to be very like you go on stage, you'd be like, and they just yell at you. It was just always chaos. So we were on a lineup. It was, I think, me, you. There was a poppin' on the side, Anthony.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. But
Exactly what it was.
But here's the thing: I did not
Exactly what it was.
I did not look at the lineup. I'm dumb, and I should have, and I don't know what. I don't know what. I got there, and then Bobby was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Paulie was like, "You're gonna bring me up as a special guest," and I was like, "Oh," and I was like, "Okay," and then I was backstage and I was talking to Anthony, and I just didn't like.
All right, so let me get this straight.
And then I went on stage, and then I went, "Oh fuck, is Paulie a special guest?" I saw Anthony backstage, and then I just.
Well, if Paulie, if just to clear this up.
Yeah.
If Paulie said to you that I'm the special guest, wouldn't you already in your mind go, he would be next?
Yes. And then I
But you didn't do that.
Well, I didn't see him around. Like, he was like, and then like, I just had seen Anthony. I mean, I'm sorry. I just had a brain fart. But
Okay.
but I have good news and bad news. It had nothing to do with you. I forgot.
I know. It hurt.
I didn't even know you were. This is between
Aloof.
Paulie and
Aloof.
This is between me and Paulie. Do you know what I'm saying? I just made a mistake, and it's interesting because I am sorry and I'm happy to apologize.
Mm-hmm. Just as long as it wasn't on purpose.
It sounds like an honest mistake.
And that's why I'm accepting it. Just as long as it wasn't a sabotage.
Imagine Bobby's up, but I'm going to bring up Anthony. Like, well, I stand to gain nothing from that. Anthony's just going to go on and make fun of me. You know what I'm saying?
that's right.
Like, it's such a worse thing for me for Anthony to come up next.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because as I feel like I'm learning more about you as an off-camera friend, because I think sometimes. Well, do you know what I'm saying?
No, we've known each other for 20 years. What the fuck?
I left going, oh my God, I totally fucked up bringing someone on. I mean, as long as I've been at the Comedy Store 15 years, I've never done that.
Yeah.
In my life.
You haven't.
And never in my life.
Yeah.
And it turned into what I thought this really fun live moment.
It was.
What
we got laughs out of it.
Like what the Comedy Store is all about. It was like this unpredictable moment where Bobby kind of came up to the stage and I had fucked up and there was this fun.
But there's a backstory. I'll tell you why this. It's online?
Jesus.
Somebody has it online.
Put your headphones on, you can hear it.
Whose channel is this?
You know him. He is so brilliant. You know his specials. Caligula.
It bothers me.
Love and Whitney.
Right here.
Okay, this comedian.
Okay, push pause.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you what happened, all right? So
I want to let you know, though, I am sorry.
It's totally fine.
I know, but it was.
I just brought it up as a joke.
But
and
it
for
was.
fun.
I
It was
agree.
something to talk about.
But no one was madder at me than me, and I should.
But I'll tell you why.
I was sloppy, and I should have right before I went out. I should have looked at the lineup.
Something funny had happened. I was sitting there in the back row, right, with some patrons, you know, And I was talking to this guy, and he's like, "Aren't you performing?" And I was acting cool, so I was like sitting next to him, and I was just like, "Yeah, I'm next." And it's just because. Just because.
Yeah.
So I walked into a fucking hornet's nest.
Yeah. So I'm sitting next to this guy, and he's with a bunch of crew. They're from New York, and then we were talking during your set. I apologize, and
Okay, all right, come on.
I apologize. Yeah, and he's like, well, and this is so dumb. He goes, so you're next, but aren't you supposed to be backstage? And I go, sometimes, like acting like a fucking idiot. I go, sometimes I like to just do it from here, right? He's like, oh, that's cool, man.
Like you let your gas tank go to the red.
Right. And then as you're bringing me up, I stood up, and this group was like, oh, there he goes, right? And then once you said Khalyla, right, you could see, I just felt them going, you're not next. You're a fool, right? And so that's what, there was like a little bit of a backstory.
You were embarrassed.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of embarrassment there.
But look, she was embarrassed. She had remorse.
Yeah, she
I
was.
was.
Yeah.
How about this? Can I do one?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was about to say, you know what? I'm just going to shut my mouth. But there was a time I called a Latino comic, Pablo Francisco, when it was like introduced him fully. That in the belly room one night, I had like smoked some weed, and I was like, Pablo, and I was like, oh my God, Francisco Roman. So not too far,
Yeah.
And he walks on stage, and I was like, I'm so sorry.
You do have a problem with introductions because you one time said about Martin Lawrence, he's the greatest comic on planet Earth.
Which, by the way, I said, here's how on the same page I thought we were.
Yeah.
In this moment of like what I thought was just like a fun, crazy, like Whitney made a mistake. Now we're just gonna be silly, and the audience gets to see this ridiculous, unscripted moment. Bobby one time gave me so much shit after I said like this, because Martin's sitcom is my favorite show. It's still my favorite show.
He's one of the best.
Martin was a very big deal to me. So I don't know his stand-up as much as I'm not. So he was coming on stage. The guy fucking cooked himself on Ventura in tinfoil 20 years ago.
Right.
Let's
Yeah,
just be respectful. You know what I'm
I
saying?
love him.
Yeah.
The guy is like
He jogged on
Legend.
a hot day.
he's a miso cod on Ventura. I don't know. And I had introduced him, and I was like, this guy is, what'd I say?
One of the greatest comedians.
I think that's true. But, Martin was truly my favorite show.
Yeah, and I love him.
And then, so this was happening.
Not one of the greatest comedians in the world, though.
Totally fair.
Yeah, great guy. I love him. Legend.
Yes.
Yeah.
That show to me is still I'll watch it.
Legend.
And cry laughing.
Yeah.
And also they're laughing in it, and I even said one of the greatest comedians is no Martin Lawrence. Like I said that to you. That was just no one else would have gotten that in the room except you.
Oh, right.
So it bombed for everyone else, but I was just trying to. That's
what it was.
That's how on the same page I thought we were.
All right.
About it being a funny moment.
Okay. All right.
I was like that. I was like, Bobby and I are in this movie. It's just us.
Right.
It's us against the
And
world.
I think flew over my head.
It didn't flow your head. You were embarrassed. You were just if I had known the two people in the back, everyone else loved it, but those two people whose approval you needed, who was it? Ellen or who was it?
No, I don't.
Ellen.
Yeah. Anyway, I accept your apology.
It was rude. It was rude unintentionally, but I'm at the point in my life where it's like, well, it's not about the impact, it's about the intention. I'm all about impact at this point. If that's the impact I made, I'm sorry.
I'm totally fucking kidding. It wasn't even an issue. In fact, I like when that happens because what got loud, I was just trying to create some sort of podcast fodder.
When it comes to Asian hate, I will stop it. You only. So I'm sorry. Viori. Fiori.
You guys, even before I was messing with Viori on podcast, I was wearing that stuff way before. When I yoga, dude, Viori is the only thing I wear.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, guess what?
What?
Their stuff on the side, the other stuff that they do, like loungewear, is legit dope. All right? everything is designed to work out in, but doesn't look or feel like it. So freaking comfortable, you will want to wear it all the time. Seriously, it's more comfortable than whatever you're wearing right now. I guarantee it, fact, 100%.
I also love that it's incredibly versatile. It can be used for just about any activity like running, training, swimming, yoga, but also great for lounging or weekend errands. And I'm like 100% bona fide athleisure kind of girl. So Vuori is a product that I stand by, I love, and constantly wear.
Vuori is an investment in your happiness. For our listeners, they are offering 20% off your first purchase. Get yourself some of the most comfortable and versatile clothing on the planet at vuori.com/belly. That's VUORI.com/belly. Not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, but enjoy free shipping on any U.S. orders over $75 and free returns. Go to vuori.com/belly and discover the versatility of Vuori clothing.
Now a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. You guys, during the pandemic and us now and in the future.
Those were 6 Fs.
Yeah. We use BetterHelp because we need therapy. It's the best online therapy on planet Earth. How well would you take care of your car if you had to keep the same one your whole entire life?
Hardcore.
That's how our brain works, Gilbert.
Oh.
So why don't we treat our brain that way, like a motor vehicle?
Therapy has always been an indispensable part of my life, and God knows we've needed a lot of it in the last year especially. BetterHelp is online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat only therapy sessions, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's so much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in just under 48 hours. And I love the journal feature. It's my favorite part about this app. It allows me to basically put down my heavy thoughts during the week before my therapy session, and we can touch on all of those things when I go into therapy and be like, hey, she's gonna be like, hey, so on Tuesday, Khalyla, you were really saying some things, and I'm gonna be like, yep.
Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/belly. That's betterhelp.com/belly.
I know you guys you're incredible at that. You guys are incredible at just going right for the sweating off the bat.
Yeah,
off the bat. Remember when podcasts were chill? Remember when it wasn't emotional MMA?
Yeah, I mean, but it's fun.
It is.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I like being confrontational a little bit, but it's just out of love,
I think it's healing. I mean, to be able to be of service to other people and get paid to be relentlessly honest, it's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
It's like you hack the system in a way.
On the road, were you doing any clubs or just theaters?
I was doing clubs in the beginning of the pandemic because it was things were at half capacity, weren't open. So I did, but after that, I did the theater tour.
Yeah, and you like that?
I prefer clubs. Like I love doing clubs because I like to do 2 shows a night, and theaters I don't like adding 2 theater because of the meet and greets after, just too late. I don't like, I like clubs because you get to do one set and be like, that didn't go well. I want to do this again, like right now,
Yeah.
Like I think that's where you get better. But I think clubs, there's a certain game you have to play where you're like, I have to prove that I can sell out clubs. And I know that's part of the thing.
Yeah.
Even though, I'm sorry, I've proved that I can sell out theaters.
Oh, sell out theaters.
Even though I would rather do Cobb's and Comedy Works.
Yeah. I for some reason, I'm getting pushed to do theaters. But I just don't.
It's less money. I mean, it is less money.
Theaters is.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So you don't have the food, the drinks,
It's the production value. It's a bit.
Yeah.
All right. So
I mean, depending on I'm not willing to charge more than $60, $70 for tickets. I just ethically, I just won't do it.
yeah, at clubs I can do less ticket prices. 40 is I think the most I charge, and then but I like just the interaction of people, right?
Yeah.
And also it gives room for people to bring people that don't know you. Right? Oh yeah, I'm just gonna go here, and it's like clubs are more a casual affair for people. You know what I mean?
I love. I'm saying this as I'm saying this. I love clubs until 20 minutes into your set they drop the check, and I'm like, why the fuck am I listening to people be like, who got the salmon? Like I'm like, why am I
at the store? Okay, at the Comedy Store, right? And I forget to fucking even tell the fucking waitresses, right? But every time I'm about to tell a punchline, you have some person stand in front of the fucking OR, right? And I say the punchline, and you have to admit this, it gets 80% less of a volume in terms of laughter.
80%?
Like 80%. It's like,
there was a Pew research. Can you pull up the Pew?
No, I have a.
Is that a Mayo Clinic?
No, I've been doing it enough to know. It happened last night, right? Once it goes, and I'm about to say the punchline, I go, uh-oh.
This is my favorite when people make up fake statistics and then they deliberate. They're like, it's like the audience laughter goes down like 70, 80%. What fake math did you do in your head?
Yeah. All right, I exaggerate.
That's
50%.
true. No, that's true.
Yeah,
And I think that's part of becoming a better comic. Like you see people that just go straight from like YouTube fame and they go straight to a theater and they're just shoveling shit down their gullet. And you're like, oh yeah, it's because they've never had to compete with 5 checks dropping at the same time and people looking at their bill. Like
as an audience member my whole life, it really does fuck up the moment for me. Because I cannot drown out stimulus around me. So if someone is deliberate, they're arguing about a check next to me, it really fucks up my experience.
all I can think about.
Yeah.
It's
all I can hear.
I was just in Austin, and Rogan and I went to go see Christina Pazitsky at one of the venues there. It's called Creek in the Cave, and she was just like working on new stuff. And it was the first time I've sat and watched comedy in a comedy venue and not gone up. And I probably couldn't even tell you when, 15 years, 20 years?
Yeah.
And I'm not sitting in the back as a comic. And we were just sitting, just watching her,
She's the best.
Yeah, she's a friend. I was just wanting to go see her. And I was like the substitute. I was like, hey, just like people are opening their Werther's originals. They're talking to each other. They're texting. They're taking videos.
Yeah.
They've got fidget spinners. Like I'm like, hey, Susie, can you watch? I'm going out in the lobby. I hear music. People's phones are going off. I was like, excuse me. Like I was a monster because I was like, she probably didn't notice any of it, but I was so just protective of just being like, I cannot believe all the fucking rigmarole that goes on while comedians are on stage. I would rather just be delusional and not know.
Yeah, I find Joe to be very sweet lately.
Joe's very Joe's
he kissed me on the cheek and gave me a bruise. The kiss was so fucking you know what I mean? What?
Oh, my zipper. Thanks, George.
Single, easy, Tiger. Whoa. Should we call this?
No, when you found out that we had broken up, what'd you feel?
Relief. No. I mean, look, I was thinking about it because I was like catching up on everything yesterday, and I'm sad. I mean, I'm sad because I know how sad y'all are, and I think for me, I have it's heartbreak. I mean, it's like getting an animal that you know is going to die at some point.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just that like
they're not going to die.
There you go. There's no way around it. It's like no one gets out alive, and I think that when you know someone is going through something that you've either gone through or it's just like there's no way out but through, unless you want to anesthetize yourself and do there's no way, you know what it is? And there's nothing anyone can do to take your pain. That's what's the most frustrating. Yeah. When people that you love are in some kind of pain, in a fraught situation where the only thing they can do is feel it and then heal it. And like with an animal dying or that, there's nothing you can do. Whereas if you were like, we got our podcast pulled down from YouTube, you'd be like, here's why it's going to be good. Here's why it's the best thing that's ever happened to you. Work stuff. Here's why you just dodged a bullet. You know what I mean? You didn't get to work with Alec Baldwin. But when I heard you guys like talk about it, it was, my personal point of view as someone who my best friend and sort of business partner is an ex of mine that I dated when I was much younger. And he's like very much like my soulmate, my brother. And I believe that there is a type of intimacy that I crave more than anything, which is, someone that you've been in a romantic relationship with and now you're family. That to me is the most life affirming, the most proud relationship I have and the most intimacy I have. So I'm happy that you guys like have that, like that in the way that you guys all you articulated it.
And also because it didn't happen overnight, right? This has been on the table for an entire year. Do we stay together? Do we not? So it isn't, I think that I'm able to talk about it objectively now because we didn't have one giant fight and then say fuck off, it's been
and it's
something
also
a
like,
slow burn kind of.
But it also was like 10 years is such a giant success.
And Helena Bonham Carter said it when her and Tim Burton broke up. She's just because it ended doesn't mean it wasn't a success.
Yes, and half of her family died in a plane crash.
Oh my God.
Think about that.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Thanks, Whitney.
So she was definitely on Percocet when she said that.
What was that?
Did you know that?
Yeah, I know,
No.
but what does one have anything to do with the other, man?
Because, dude, how many people do you know? There's something fascinating to it. When you really start like doing the math on how many entertainers have had like really horrendous shit happen to them.
Yeah.
like I remember one time I was like, Stephen Colbert was on the Daily Show or something, and I remember being like, look at this guy, nicest guy, doesn't have any trauma. You don't have to be traumatized to be a comedian. The funniest part, and someone's like, you know that
his parents, yeah,
like 3 of his family members just like died in a plane crash when he was 10. And I'm like, got it.
Shit, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that I could not think of a more elegant way that y'all have ostensibly navigated this in such a mature way. And I think that not to bring up. So I made a movie about this, in this movie that I made, The Female Brain, there was one whole storyline that was about this couple. It was Sofia Vergara and Dion Cole, and they had been together for 7-8 years. And it's like, our brain is wired to our brain is savage, It's like, we're kind of wired to be madly obsessed and attracted to each other for like 2 years, the amount of time it would take to make a baby, and then make sure the guy sticks around to care for it. And then we're wired to kind of move. It's the fact that y'all have like overcome, despite our most.
Is that a true thing you just said?
Yeah, we don't make as much oxytocin and dopamine for someone after like 2 years.
Oh fuck! It makes sense. That was
but you guys, no, I'm saying you have beat the odds. Your love for each other and your care for each other, like you've built this despite biology. Like you know what I'm saying?
Is that why every relationship I've ever had only lasted 2 years?
Or even less.
But yeah, you stop producing dopamine and oxytocin for the person, but then you go, look, yes, I want to fuck everything that moves. That's what I'm wired to do, but I'm choosing this. I think that's the thing about relationships is, thank you, is that you...
There's your guy. Bobby comes home and he has a picture next to a guy who's towering over him. And he goes, who's this? Khalyla? Who did I take a picture with? And it's Blake Griffin. And I was
By the way, who is...
Great guy.
So funny. It's annoying.
So funny.
Yeah.
No, but like did stand up at Montreal and was hilarious.
Yeah.
Like he's legitimately hilarious.
With Blake Griffin though, because he's always around. I don't care. I know that he'll crush me, but I'm just saying that he'll destroy me. But I just never got a sense that he liked me, like because I see him with other comics and ass playing in this.
Why did you take a picture with him, and who did you think he was?
Stevie Aoki.
Boom.
Yep.
Call back. What? No, I thought. What's up?
AC.
No, I thought he was just a tall comedian from New York.
A tall light.
As if tall men have to become comedians.
I'm just because there's ones like Gary Goldman. They're tall.
There's one.
Gary Goldman.
Yeah, and he's his whole thing is I can't stop taking antidepressants.
Yeah.
But Blake Griffin is so
he's a talented guy. He's a legend. I know.
Taught me a lot in a fascinating way. I'm very as I sort of move through life, I've started dividing people into 2 categories. Like, do you have any of these things where like you divide people?
How? What are the categories?
It can be as simple as like black licorice person or not black licorice person.
Oh, right.
Oh, right.
Only child, not only child. Like things.
There are 2 types. I just made another one of those categories.
Love
people who like to just hang out and chill in their car when they've gotten to the destination, and people who get out quickly. Like I'm somebody, when I get somewhere, I need a second, 5 minutes.
I'm the person going, are you leaving?
I need a moment.
Yes.
I have one too. People that view vacations in a certain way. Like some people view vacations as relaxation, chill, and some of our action adventure.
We're completely opposite.
That's where opposite. Yeah. She's like fucking Laura Croft. Let's go in the caves. No, I don't want. You know what I mean? A disease. Or I don't know.
But I do like massages at the end of every day. Yeah, I do like some relaxation.
She's giving mouth to mouth to a blowfish, 1,000 feet under the sea. You're like, I can't. Like,
Yeah.
People that played team sports and people that didn't.
Like individual sport?
Yeah, team sports or not.
Or fencing.
Team sports or fencing or track and field or whatever. And this whole thing with like people being so mad about like.
Can I ask you something? Is wrestling a team sport?
No, it's an individual.
But there is a team.
Playing for the other team.
There's a team, though. There's
yeah, but that's just like saying swimming is not an individual sport because there's a relay. Like, no, swimming is an individual
It is
sport.
a very individual
But there is a
sport.
team, though.
Yes.
There's, of course.
But they go individually.
Yes.
Right, so tennis would be, unless you were a doubles partner.
Individual.
Okay, I'm just learning.
I'm going to ask you something about this. So
Wait, let's ask him every sport and see if
Yeah. Ask me
Are
some.
there people that can play well with others and collaborate and lean on others? Are there people who are like, I'm the star of this, and I don't, so it's interesting because I was a big team sports player, and then I became a singular stand-up comedian because by the time I went to improv, I was like, you motherfuckers are going to fuck it up for me. I'm not, y'all are dragging me down.
But when I was wrestling, I wanted someone to help me. So that would, I really was. I was like, I would look over to the heavyweight, you want to get in on this? You know what I mean? So it was like, I think I did individual sports, but I wanted people to jump in to help me.
But within those individual sports, though, there's still two types of people. People who compete against others and people who compete against themselves. So my sister was a against herself type of gal. I'm only going to race and try to beat my own personal best. I'm the opposite. My eyes are everywhere. I'm trying to beat my personal best and everyone in this heat.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I wonder what I am.
Types.
I'm personal best guy.
I think you're highly competitive. You're mean.
What?
No, in swimming, I mean.
No way, you're
Oh, for you
only in swimming, specifically swimming. Yeah. No, so you think that I'm competitive.
Your career.
You're so competitive, sweetie.
Your career.
What do you mean my career?
Your career. You're not. I'm just trying to be the best.
No, dude, you are misunderstanding, my friend, right? My whole thing is like, I want to do the best I can, right? And I'll get what I get, right? I just wonder why other people get something I can't get.
Can I just say something? Fly on the wall.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm very into this new Bobby Lee. It is. I don't know.
What new Bobby Lee? What the fuck are you talking about, man?
Could you tell us, compare two differences?
I mean, look, we've fucked around and we found out Bobby Lee got self-esteem, and this is what happened. I hadn't listened to the podcast. So I literally know Bobby is someone that is like, we are very open about our insecurities and low self. I turned on the podcast and I was just like skipping around, and it's like, I'm Bobby Lee, motherfucker. Like you said it a couple times. You're like, I'm Bobby Lee. I'm Bobby Lee. And I was like, that is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I feel like you
therapized Bobby.
Have broken through something. Maybe in the last year, maybe it was the pandemic, maybe it was what happened with all that drama, but I just feel that you have arrived to another level of understanding of your worth, and I think it's awesome.
I would have to agree.
Well, because you react to things that aren't real. You know what I mean?
Or maybe you did that show with the fucking Ace, and we're like, if you call yourself not funny, you're calling your fans dumb. You know what I mean?
No, it's like this. It's like, I can't walk around, right, going, I'm a piece of shit. I can't get nothing, and all that whole fucking thing, right? And then I'm like, doing a scene with Sarah Jessica Parker in New York, and then she's like wanting to know who I am and all that stuff. And in my head, it's like my inner voice isn't matching what the reality is, right? So it's like I'm just trying to match my reality with my voice.
Like to say that you're not successful, that's like on some QAnon shit. It's like it's
it's
delusional.
It's delusional. It's insane.
And everyone is just like, okay, so wait,
and you're right in many ways because I used to do that. Even this is the thing that bothered you about me is that like after I would do well on stage, I would go, I bombed, right? And it was just the same way of trying to but it didn't. That didn't even make any sense when you would bring it up. Like I'm tired because one day you pulled me aside and said, stop, I can't do this anymore.
Well, it was before
it's
you
tiring.
went on. But I think sometimes when you have a maladaptive behavior that works really well for you, either like you're minimizing yourself, making yourself small, and walking on eggshells around narcissists or, borderlines, like that maybe worked really well to shrink yourself or be like, I'm a piece of shit, I'm ugly. That I did that same shit. It worked for me because it made the narcissists in my life not feel threatened by me, and it made me feel safe. So when I would see before you went on stage, you're like, I'm gonna bomb, and I'm like, maybe this was like a tool he developed so that other comedians wouldn't be threatened by him, and this is how he survived in the hallways, and you would go like, I'm gonna bomb, and you'd be like nervous before going on. Most of the people are there to see you, and then you go on and destroy in a way that made
yeah.
Okay, but I know you're being but 10 years in, every night for 10 years, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then I was like, how sometimes you just need permission sometimes for someone to say like, oh, you don't need to do that. You're like, and something clicks. And I was just, for like a year, I was like, what if I just said, no, don't say anything. It's none of your business. How dare, who are you? He's senior to you. Like, and then one day I just said it.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a comment that might be inappropriate.
Go ahead.
Since we are no longer in a relationship.
Okay.
But
tell your leg.
The worst thing about breaking up though is being at the Comedy Store because there are people that I'd never talked to that are going like, I'll see them and they'll be like, bring it in.
Oh God.
You hate that.
And I go, what?
I mean, they're all just so psyched Khalyla's single.
Oh, is that what it is? But it's like even people I barely talk to. Come on, buddy. Right? And I'm like, and I don't want to be a dick, so I'm kind of like, okay. And I'll just kind of give them a hug, and they're like, man, if you ever need anything, it's like,
they're doing the
bitch,
circle.
I don't know you.
Have any of you gotten DMs from people trying to like?
I
finally got my first one.
Oh really? What did it say? No, why are you don't have to be.
Oh, it's just I got excited. It was my one and only. I've never gotten one before.
Yeah, go ahead. I want to know.
Yeah, and I don't want to get into it, but it was like one body. One body part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she said, "I want to fuck you."
It was Khalyla.
It was me. It was a fucking burner account.
And
that was
it was
my pussy,
first
so.
one.
Did you go to the person's profile to see if they were mentally?
They probably are mental.
Stable.
It might, or I already make an assumption that they are.
Yeah.
Copy.
That they're out of their. What's wrong, George? Why are you rolling your eyes back?
Well, I, through this podcast, have had 2 of those, so I was surprised that you've only had 1.
Oh,
Do you guys call him Nazi Theo?
Yeah,
Nazi Theo. Jesus.
What I would do.
Yeah, you've had 2, man. How many DMs have you
This is
gotten?
the Wayback Machine. Gilbert was bragging about it before, like when we
Pre-announcing I was engaged, it was half and half. A lot of women and a lot of guys' dicks.
I haven't gotten a dick, and I swear to God, I've had 1 breast shot, which is just recently,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
hot.
and that's it. So in my
What
head,
was it? Do you remember
the angle.
what the kids are doing these days? Yeah. How was it like a high angle?
That's gonna tell you how old she is. It's gonna tell you a lot
It'll
of
tell
things.
me. Yeah. It'll
It's
tell
straight on.
straight on.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't like it wasn't
Was your
above.
face in it?
Yes,
Oh.
on both.
a little
Nothing to
aggressive.
lose.
That's a little aggressive.
Wait, if her yeah.
Yeah,
that's-
yeah. Nice breasts. That's you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, they're not. You know what I mean.
They're not Whitney Cummings.
They're not Whitney Cummings nipples. No.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say that they were. Like if I was a judge at the Olympics, it would be like
What score?
I don't even.
But do you, because you're so far removed from the sort of culture of this, I mean, you have guy friends, so but does that mean like, I just want to fuck, or does that mean I want you to take me on a date?
Right.
And do you know how old this person is?
No, I have
both-
no interest. I have no interest, by the way.
I don't
But you
care.
read it. It'll show that you read it.
We both have not dated in 10 years. We probably need your help.
Yeah.
We don't
Get back together. That's my advice.
No, honestly, I need your help. Athletic Greens. Life is busy, and your well-being is important. You guys, what is Athletic Greens? It's nutrients in a powder, and it's the best vitamins you can ever get.
This is the only way I start my day. Early in the morning, before I eat breakfast, I get my 1 scoop of Athletic Greens. I use my little matcha stirrer in cold water, and it is such a treat. I love the way it tastes. It makes me feel like I'm actually taking really good care of my body. It's a great way. Sorry, it's a great way to start your day.
You're absorbing 75 high quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens
You got it, babe.
to help you start your day right.
Oh, and I love, like, if you are following a certain type of lifestyle, AG1 is keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, and gluten-free. It contains less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals or artificial anything, while still tasting so good. And if you order, they give you this, like, 1-year subscription of the vitamin D and, like, the dropper. And I think that you guys should reload on your vitamin D.
Not getting enough, guys.
And I'm super lazy, guys. You know that, right? I don't like chopping vegetables and chewing. You know what I mean? So it's like, for me, I like AG1 because it's like, it's easy.
Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/belly. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/belly to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
So let me ask you, do you mind if we get into that?
Suck it the fuck up.
So let me ask you
it's
this,
a
Whitney.
war zone out there.
All right, so Whitney.
That's what I hear.
So what do I do? Should I get, not anytime soon, but like. You know,
Also, nobody's sane is going to date either of you given this situation. So it's already.
What do you mean?
It's the matter of like, so Nick, so my best friend, who I dated before, he like lived with me. I mean, he is my biggest priority. Anyone coming in to date either of you has to understand the other person is going to be the biggest priority.
How do you explain that to your new girl?
Like you can't here's the.
I never even thought about it.
You know what it is? It's like having a kid, being like, look, you have to meet my kid. I can't let you meet him too early, but if that doesn't take. So for me, when people date me, I'm like, they just have to meet Nick as soon as possible. If they don't vibe, if Nick doesn't like, there's no point in going any further.
I see.
But it's I feel the same way always with my mom, in the sense that like if my mom doesn't like my girlfriend, I can't make it. There's just no way it's gonna work, right?
Sure.
You know, so it's like now
she would have to be very patient about the fact that we do slip up. We do still kiss on the lips. You still call me babe. We do watch the boys together every night.
Okay.
Like we still sleep on the same bed. Like that's a hard thing.
But in a world eventually when you move out, right, and you have your own place, still I think that would be a thing where I would have to go. If I'm on a date with a girl, I have to go. Just FYI, my ex-girlfriend is my best friend, and we do a podcast together. And
I think they'd probably know, but
I know. But what if they don't?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Then date someone who speaks English and has a Wi-Fi connection.
Right. But I would have to
stop dating people that just got out of underground cults.
Yeah. I would have to.
Everyone's gonna Google you. Everyone's gonna know.
Right. And I just have to say that's the situation. And then they probably ask, well, is she there all the time?
Here's the irony. The irony is that, it is a giant red flag for me if guys aren't friends with their exes. If guys don't speak highly of their exes.
Right.
If they're like, she's a fucking psycho, she's a con,
That's a big red flag
to
for
me. You're the
as
common
well.
denominator in all these psychos. Like, what's going on? So to me, there's nothing more. This is why I love, before the guy that I'm dating, I got, he's younger, but I really only wanted to date married guys with kids before that had a lot of respect for their child's mother, because that's just so attractive to me.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm only gonna date married guys. They know how commitment works. Like, they know how to stay amicable and respectful to someone that they spent 10 years with. It's a fucking huge deal. And there's gonna be times where your new guy, you're gonna go have a problem, or girl, whatever. I don't see gender. Where you're gonna go like, I'm having a problem. I need to call Bobby.
Yeah.
And a man's gonna go, what the fuck? Those things are gonna.
Well, I envision a world where 3 years down the road, she has a boyfriend named Tony, and I'm calling, yo, Tony, I can't hang these shelves up. So you come over. He's like, hey, dude, hey, bro, I'm with Khalyla right now, bro, right? And I go, come on, Tony, come over. So he comes over, right? And then we're like, and they go, hey, let's play.
Oh no, you're gonna recruit him into gaming?
Let's co-op on Stardew Valley. You think so, bro? I go, yeah. And then we co-op, and then 6 months down the road, I'm sucking his dick. You like that, Tony? I like it, dude. I like it.
Pretty good, dude. Yeah.
I think that we're the first culture that's that book Committed by Elizabeth Gilbert. She wrote Eat, Pray, Love, which I didn't really get. But this was about how in every culture, what marriage means, what relationships mean. And we're we're the only culture, America, this sort of Western civilization, we're the only ones that involve love at all. For everyone else, it's a business thing. It's about land, and I need someone to be able to watch my kids, and I can't afford to move out. It's such a no one expects to be in love all the time. We're the only people that are every day I need to have butterflies. It's like for most people, it's just a business,
Right.
And I talk to friends of mine that don't do what we do for a living, and they're in these marriages that are miserable. And I'm like, why don't you leave? And they're like, I can't afford to. Where would I'd have to call the phone company and separate the bill, where it's just it's too entrenched. We can't, so.
Well, why didn't it work out with Nick?
Well, I was a kid. I mean, I was young. I was not yet integrated or realized as a person. I was codependent, unrecovered Al-Anon, and very much addicted to adrenaline and having to chase someone and force someone to. Basically, he was emotionally unavailable at the time. He had a really intense trauma when he was a child. That is one of the ones you just don't come back from. I think you guys both get that. Lost someone in his family in front of him, saw it happen.
Oh wow!
And he just there's certain traumas that if you were to do like 20 years of psychotherapy, you might be able to build some neural pathways, but it changes your brain forever. And he's just, and then he had cancer later in life just from like stress and stuff. And then being raised by parents that had lost a kid is very hard because when parents have lost a child, it's the child that is surviving. It's very hard for anyone to console anyone because everyone's in so much pain. Right. So it ends up being just like emotional neglect and, they say something like only 90% of couples that lose a child end up breaking up because there's just there's so much anger. Yeah. Why weren't you there? Why it's just you can't move past it. Like the only way out is to just move on and just try to pretend it didn't happen, denial, And so so he was not able, like neither of us were really able to have any kind of intimacy. Neither of us had healed these invisible wounds. So it was just kind of the perfect way for me to cut myself by like chasing him around. He was like everyone in Hollywood wanted to date him. He was like this big screenwriter, and just because he didn't want to commit to anyone because he didn't want to invest in anyone and then have the inevitable pain of a breakup because he was just pain avoidance. Right. And so I just was obsessed with him because it made me feel like shit to like chase him around and then ultimately it was like we're soulmates. We're meant to be best friends. We weren't meant to date, but I didn't know how to start off in a platonic relationship. I thought the only thing I had to offer the world was sex or my body. So it didn't even occur to me like this person that makes me laugh so much that I just want to be around all the time. Like we could just be friends.
Maybe we misread the cues up front.
No.
What do you mean?
Like, when we first met, we had that strong feeling of like, why do I feel so like deeply like bonded to you even after the first date?
Trauma.
Right? Yeah, I think, but we didn't really talk about the
I just think that subconsciously that you just find your person that you relate to on that level. I feel like you can just read them, you know what I mean? In a sense, you know what I mean? And I think that's what our initial bond was.
It was like a comfort, right?
A comfort, yeah, right. We hate the same things, authoritarian figures, you know what I mean? That's also, I think, a result of, because my dad was such a menace, right? That's why I hate Trump so much. You know what I mean?
Neo-Nazi Theo?
Yeah, I don't know why I keep looking at neo-Nazi Theo when I say
I hate Trump so much.
I always look at you. I don't know why I always look at you.
Or is Theo Nazi Theo? We don't know.
Yeah.
But what I'll say is, sorry, I don't. This is not my place to say, but I don't think you have to like pathologize yourself for having fallen in love. It's not like I had trauma, that's why I loved you. It's like no. I mean, it's like you're gorgeous and amazing, and hilarious, smart. As someone that knew Bobby for a while, and you came along, I was like, she is so like calm, like you just like move through the world with such like a calmness and a grace and whether it's from your trauma, the work you've done, or having been a nurse, whatever it is, you're just like water off things. Just like
here's what also when I date a girl, like I've had women that I've dated that aren't. She wasn't in the business, right? And when you introduce them to that world, they act cray. Yeah, right. They don't know how to act. You know what I mean? You're at somebody's house that's like a celebrity or whatever, and they take selfies with them and post it online. No. Or that one girl I brought to the upfronts, and she gave her card to the president of Fox, saying that I'm a comedian, right? And she's like, "What the fuck is this? This is a dinner, bitch." You know
Fox, and that's Fox News. Like,
yeah. That's Rupert Murdoch. Yeah. But my point is but she was the first girlfriend that I had that I thought, oh, she can navigate right in every social situation.
Yes.
A chameleon in many ways, and she could
trauma.
But
yeah, I think it's trauma.
That's we can both do that. I mean, but people that can shape shift that easily based on the way they had to do it as a survival mechanism can also be very dangerous people. Yeah, she's able to shape shift and survive any situation you throw her in without being an inauthentic and full of shit person. Yeah, because I used to sometimes conflate that and be like, oh, this person could just like be this person at this event and this person at this event, and then you're like, oh, you're just a sociopath. Like you were lying to me.
That is extremely scary. Like people who are able to kind of code switch on, immediate. Yes, I do understand.
But you know what you have to, we all know what we have to do to get through a party or whatever. But then you're authentic when you're not.
But can I say the greatest night when it solidified to me that you were the one was
10 years. You'll be the one for about 10 years.
Adam Sandler's Christmas party.
Ice skating.
Yeah.
At the bowl, ice skating, and
he had the band.
There?
Hockey.
Were you there that night?
Pickwick.
Yeah, Pickwick. Yeah.
He does it every year.
Yeah. So I went one year, and usually when I go to those events, every year I get to go find out which actors are so short.
My favorite thing to be like, Steven Dorff is like 5'1". I love this party.
Steven Dorff really that short?
Yeah.
So usually I go to those places. I'm there 15 minutes tops. I say hi to who I need to say hi to when I leave.
That party's a nightmare.
Nightmare. But with her, I went there. We were there for 5 hours. Just running around.
Fun.
And giggling and look at that person and going to all the areas. And it was the first time where I went, I'm actually having a really good time in an environment that I dread usually, And that's when I knew this is going to work. You know what I mean?
It's also interesting because I hear I don't know the answer because I am lone wolf is my energy. And it's not something that I totally, from what I understand, it would take a very long time to change. I don't know if I'm even interested in changing it. I wasn't socialized a lot as a child. I'm very good on my own. Like I'm an introvert by nature, which I did not know the definition of this until actually kind of recently, is that introvert and extrovert. Introvert is that you derive energy from being alone. And extrovert is you derive energy from socializing. I have friends that they'll go to one bar and they're like, let's go to another one. Let's go meet these people. And I'm like, aren't you exhausted? Like I have friends, they'll do a dinner and then a drinks and then they'll go to a late night. And I'm like, I'm always like, is that cocaine? Is it I'm exhausted. So, and it's nothing personal about the person. I just don't, I'm not, so I'm really like being alone. I'm like good at it.
Too.
I understand it. When someone else comes into the mix, I just like my ADD and perfectionism. It makes me kind of resent the person if I'm around them too much because I feel like I have to be on my best behavior all the time and I don't want to show them. It's like this. Like the guy that I'm dating now, he's in my house and I go to make coffee and he's sitting there and I'm like, do I have to be like, do I have to offer? Because if I offer it, I would always offer it.
Well, no.
I'm setting. Well, that's what I'm saying. But there's this pressure when you're cohabiting or coexisting with someone. Every decision you are signing up to think about them every time you're doing something. And I am wired to really caretake. Yeah. So that's just how. So I'm like, do you want to think? Do you want to? What kind of milk? And then I'm like, what the fuck? I just made your coffee and you can't even. So I'll start keeping score. And I have to work at not doing that in relationships. And then I'm like, okay, in order to be in a relationship, I have to work on these parts of myself. And it's just. It's a job,
That's a boundary I had to set for myself. For a couple of years, I was the one cleaning the human feces off his Prius. Off his face.
Why did you date Amber Heard? Why was it on your Prius?
He would have a lot of accidents.
All right.
And I was always like, let me clean it up. Let me, clean everything from the car seat to the underwear to I don't want you to feel shame. You had an accident.
I do.
Clean it up.
Why are you shitting in a Prius?
He didn't have a lot of choices back then, but
I have a loose asshole. What the fuck do you want?
He has a really loose asshole. But
by the way, I have 2 women in my life that work with me that shit their pants all the time.
Oh. Me too. Yeah, I'm that guy. All right, I'm sorry, my bad.
Okay, I'm just trying to help understand. For the people, because it's the one body.
I don't have a lot of muscles on my body, and my asshole's the same way.
Got it.
The muscle around my asshole is weak.
But do you have any heads up, or it's just
sometimes it just
comes.
It's 9/11.
Yeah.
I mean, you just don't know what's coming.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Maybe that's a bad reference.
Maybe.
Maybe like Pearl Harbor. Yeah. Same plane. Forget that one. Let's do one, not a plane.
Is there anything else?
Yeah. No.
No, that's it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. And my point is
Exxon Valdez leak.
Oh, that's a good. That's a deep cut. That's a deep cut.
That's a deep cut. Yeah. Yeah, but basically, it's like, oh, it's happening now. It's not like 8 hours before. It's like, maybe.
Yeah.
In 8 hours. No, it's not like that. You never shit in your pants.
This is very odd.
You've never shit in your pants.
I've done a lot of crazy shit. I've never shit my pants as an adult. I know. I don't know why that is.
Yeah. Have you?
Once, yes.
In your life, your whole life.
Yeah, and it came without warning. It was at the Vermont Canyon tennis courts, and it was just, and it wasn't even diarrhea.
But have you eaten something? Is there a common denominator?
It was a rogue. You know how they have rogue waves? This was like a rogue turd that just fell out from the sky with no warning, and all of a sudden I felt a little pressure, like a weight in my underwear, and I was like, "What is that?" So I went to the bathroom, and there was just this pellet.
Oh God.
And I'm like, where did that come from? And I didn't have any stomach ache, nothing.
You know, my thing, I think for the longest time I had such weird eating disorders. I think I was always more constipated. I had the opposite. I like wouldn't shit for like 4 days.
That's worse to me.
A pellet is not shitting in your pants.
It's not. It's not.
I get pellets every day.
Really?
So I shit on my pants every day?
Yeah.
Are you eating like enough?
What's fiber? What is it? What's a fiber?
Can you please?
a fiber?
That is already my favorite GIF I've ever seen. Like, I just want to go on the iPhone and just, what's fiber?
What is it? What is
Such
it?
a brat.
I don't know what it is.
I want you to guess.
By the way, no, yes, you do.
You eat it a lot.
I honestly don't.
What foods
don't know
have
what
fiber?
fiber
Because in Stardew Valley, in my video game, fiber is the little weeds that you chop.
Oh, that is true. It
Yeah,
is-
right?
yeah.
Isn't it called fiber?
Yeah.
So is that what fiber is?
Yeah.
The weeds?
Probably. Everything, certain things have fibers, and fiber isn't something you grow.
Wheat.
It's not fiber plants.
Does wheat have fiber?
Most things have fiber.
Yeah, you need fiber
Protein.
for a plant to stand up. The fiber is what holds it up. But yeah, it's what
Meats don't have fiber.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So vegetables.
it's something that is going to sort of have a
Bind.
texture enough that's going to
Bulk and
Yeah.
create your poop.
make something more stiff. It's like holds it together so that your shit's
Here,
not
do
just.
you eat any of this stuff, Bobby?
Yeah. Okay.
Do you eat
whole wheat pasta.
That's not true. This
No.
is like
Barley.
a pasta company.
Yeah.
sponsored
Chickpeas.
This pasta's not a good source of fiber.
edamame. I've had that
Big
before.
bloater.
Lentils and split peas.
This actually is not even
Berries,
a lot of trigger foods for me.
pears.
Okay,
artichoke.
no,
Okay.
this is madness.
Yes, I've had fibers.
Fiber is just like brands.
Got it.
Have
Got
you
it.
had like Raisin Bran or like grape nuts or dude, eat a bowl of grape nuts. It'll change your life. You will
binds?
take the shit. Have you ever taken aloe pills?
No.
Take one aloe pill if you're constipated.
So grape nuts is cereal. If I get the cereal, will it bind my poo?
You will never shit your pants again.
I'm gonna have fucking grape nuts.
No, it's I love gross cereals that people think are gross because the feeling of shitting after having I don't like the Raisin Bran with all the sugar and the raisins. I don't like raisins in my salad or in my cereal or anything. But you will. It's a great feeling.
Yeah, I think when I eat a lot of ice cream and I'm lactose intolerant.
Sure.
Yeah, so I think stuff like that,
Sure,
decisions
sure,
like
sure.
that, I think it fucked me up.
Okay.
So I think I'm gonna go to grape. And now that I know what fiber is, right? And now that I know, please don't shame me.
I'm not shaming
I'm
you.
just learning things as I go along.
Okay.
You know, and also people on the internet, people always go, "You're a man child. You know these things. Or you should know all these things." Like when I couldn't tell the time with the hands, right? It's just that I just, I wasn't bothered to learn it yet.
Yeah, or the science changes. Or the history. Everything we learned in history class just isn't true. Everything that we learn, you learn something and you're this know-it-all about something and you start living your life
Right.
based on soy milk is the best thing in the world for you, acai berries, and then they're like, soy milk has lecithin and hormones and you should.
Cancerous,
Give you
so it's
bitch tits, yeah.
As soon as I say fiber is good for you, because that's what I was told, I'm sure in 5 years they'll be like, it causes cancer. It's better to shake your pants in
I
traffic.
actually think that I have to be, because I have colitis. I have to be
wow.
very careful with certain fibers and things that are normally what people say are good food, like broccoli.
Can you not have seeds?
I don't, seeds do
No
not.
seeds.
So like,
Why?
they're very, very, it's very rough on my
They're hard to digest,
stomach.
yeah.
Yeah. So like certain foods, like even like broccoli fucks me up. Like foods that are deemed healthy,
Yeah.
fuck me up. Make my I shit blood. So,
You shit blood.
yeah.
Brought to you by Manscaped.
So what works for you may not work for the
Totally.
next person.
I also learned this from Neil Brennan. I'd heard it before, but Neil, you've seen when Neil drinks water, he kind of.
Yeah.
You've seen him do that. He
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
chews his water. You're supposed to kind of chew your water, so to give your body like a heads up that you're about to eat something, so it can make the enzymes to digest. Like,
Yeah.
Whoa, wait. Stop. So what you're saying to me is this. Neil Brennan has a glass of water he's about to fucking chomp down on. Gargle, right? So he'll go first and then put it in his mouth?
he'll just drink it and go and swallow it.
Swish it and then swallow.
And so that little motion tells your stomach friends, get ready, they're
Yes,
coming.
because you have a lot of.
It's like a telephone.
You have a lot of
Yeah.
digestive
Yeah.
enzymes in your mouth. Your mouth is part of your digestive system, and it actually breaks down a lot more than you think. It doesn't just happen in
And
the
most of us do
stomach.
not chew enough.
Right.
We're supposed to chew. I mean, it's like I'm eating in the car. I'm like deep throating a fucking salmon from
Same.
Bristol Farms as I'm driving, and I'm like, why does my stomach hurt? Because I did, so it's like we're supposed to chew our food more. And when you
Wow.
drink your first drink of water before you eat, you're supposed to just it signals to your stomach to make more enzymes to digest.
I just thought of something.
It's like raw dog. It's like dry fucking someone that's not lubed up yet.
Yeah.
That was a horror. I've never asked anyone to cut anything.
We're not cutting that out.
Can we please?
So this is a serious thing then, because you know how I have teeth missing.
Yeah.
From on this side of the mouth and this side of the mouth, the bottom rows are all gone.
Were they pulled or?
No, just don't rush. But my point
But
is,
did you have to pull them out though?
I did.
my
Personally,
God.
Some just fell off.
they just fell out.
Didn't you have a nerve in there? The
Yeah, they
nerves
hurt.
died.
Constantly pain.
Still?
I don't know. But anyway, I have teeth on this row and this row completely gone, right?
Right.
So when I eat steak, I don't chew. I just swallow it whole.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
That or you?
And I
this
swallow.
weird attempt. You go with the front teeth.
Yeah,
and
the
I'm
front
like,
teeth, but I don't want my front teeth to go missing. So I give them a break.
Do you go to the dentist now?
Oh, do you go to the dentist now? Your fucking attitude. Fuck you. My point is that yeah. It's just you're the town.
I'm saying, who's
it's
going to take care
town.
of you
Yes.
when Khalyla moves out?
So
Jack
what-
Toonsey.
Me?
My dentist is.
I love him,
his
Jack
dentist.
Toonsey.
Yeah.
What's going to happen when Khalyla moves out?
So my point is
worried.
that I don't.
You're gonna take care.
I
of
have to
him.
fucking handle this
I
shit.
chew. I don't chew, so I swallow food like pizza whole. So that's not good.
I don't think that's very. Good
I
for
think
you.
whatever you decide to do,
No, I don't
I
want to die,
support
man.
whatever your choices
Help me,
are.
dude. Help me, man.
whatever you're. Why do every guy calls me man or dude? It's so.
Bro.
I am being misgendered, and no one cares
Yeah.
that I get misgendered.
I think guys do that as it helps us. Oh my God, I'm gonna say something sexist. I think I'm about to say
Wow,
something
you did
sexist.
nice.
Let's try.
But I'm
We're
gonna
in comedy.
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it it's not a joke. This is a real thing because I've noticed I've done that with female comics in general, right?
Sure.
What's up,
Comedians.
bro? Comedians. Like the other night, there was this girl that opens for Steve Byrne named Monterey Martinez. Do you know her?
Not personally.
Yeah, and she has buggy eyes, like bigger eyes, right? So I just started attacking her eyes. Like, can you see everything right now? Right? Like, are you constantly
Well, your
shocked?
bar is kinda low
What are you, a
for big
cartoon? You know, and I'm attacking her, and I go, later, bro. Right? And I just walk away because I'm overcompensating, I think, because I want to treat them equally. But the only way I can treat women equally is as a guy friend almost. And I don't think that that's the right angle.
Sure.
Do you understand what I'm saying or no?
Sure.
That's why I say chief. What's up, chief? Or, you know what I mean? Bucko or anything that, you know what I mean? To put them in the guy category because I don't want to.
I feel like Chief is on its way out.
Yeah. But
Heads
like,
up.
yeah,
Heads
probably, yeah. But like, Bucko how about that?
I love Bucko.
Bucko's good. What's up,
Love
Bucko?
Bucko.
Right. And they always seem to go, you know, I roughhouse. Like, I'll just like give them a little punch on the arm, you know what I mean?
Sure,
Oh, okay, good.
Right? Or I'll grab their neck and do like a little roughhousing, like, you know what I mean?
You should not air this.
What?
And I flick your
I
titties.
feel like
No. But do you understand what I'm saying?
as your friend.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Though? How I overcompensate.
I've been on the I'm on the receiving end of all of this, all of the
and that's why we do it. It's out of respect.
That's
It's out-
exactly how
Bro,
I feel when I go to
dude.
comedy store. I just feel
it's out of respect.
so much respect.
All right, guy.
Hey, I will say
Chief.
the most turned on I have ever been
Yeah.
was I was walking to a Starbucks that was next to a Panda Express and you weren't working that day and a Jamba Juice and there were these like three and you know when you're like there's like a table of guys and you know they're looking at you and you're walking alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean
Yeah.
this is a little like and I'm walking to Starbucks and you like know that's like three guys and they're like I don't know like whatever. They're just like cool guys, the belt and the stitching on the pants, like, and they're just like kicking. And I'm walking and I'm like, not gonna make eye contact with them, right? And I'm just like killing it. It's like 10 years
Were they
ago.
cute?
I like wasn't even gonna they acted like they were. Like out of
Okay.
my periphery, their body language was like hot guys, like
Yeah.
V-neck guys, like three guys that are just like like just watching chicks walk by, right? So I'm like, so then that's your runway. You're like, got you. Like slow motion. I'm trying to make these guys that I won't even want to fuck.
I imagine a guy that looks like Michael Lenoci and Stephen Fury, these type of guys, right?
That's really funny. No, that
Just in my head, I'm
it
trying to
was
imagine.
like three Marqueses.
Oh!
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That takes it.
That's
yeah.
tall.
How about two Marquesas and one Brian Monarch?
Yeah,
Okay,
that'll
good,
do.
good, good.
That'll definitely do. Yeah,
And there's a
maybe
fourth
like
Skylar Stone in the back.
Sarah Tella's getting the drink, and so I'm walk by, and then just because you get curious, and I like look over just to like see what they think, and this guy just looked at me and he went, "What's up, dude?" And I've thought about it every day since it happened.
Wow.
I like that.
It was such a weird, and then I like went and it like disoriented. It threw me in a way that was so hot.
Yeah.
And I don't know if
I'm
that's his
doing
thing.
it from now on.
It was like genius.
What's up,
it was
dude?
so genius. And then I drove away and I was like, does he think I'm a, wait, so he doesn't, it
Wow.
discombobulated me. And I still think about that guy.
I do like that.
Sup, look me right in the eye. Sup, dude.
Yeah.
Why is that so, it's also like funny. Like
Yeah.
it's like a funny thing to do. And I just like, I've thought about him ever since.
Yeah, because it wasn't even sexual. He was just acknowledging you.
It
But
was also, it was
like,
like, hey, sweetie, hey, honey.
Yeah.
What up, dude? Like, I don't
Yeah.
fuck you.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, don't flatter
wow.
yourself, bro.
Okay, so I have
Write
a little.
this all down. What's
I am,
up,
but I
dude?
have a little problem I want you to help me with, okay?
Okay.
Oh my god.
I need to know about, are you guys getting on apps? Like, this feels,
Okay, I had
is
to
there
tell.
any rush?
I don't
I have a
know
problem
where to
here.
start. I also think I need to be alone for a long time. So I'm not anywhere there yet. But then when you do, what do you do? I don't want to do Raya. That seems so just not my.
Yeah.
Baby, if we see each other on Raya, though,
Haha.
can we still swipe?
Yes, yes.
Swipe and just
Yes.
ma-
Yes.
and match? Oh. That's still because if your name pops up
Yeah.
and I swipe
Yeah.
and it doesn't match,
Yeah.
it'll break my heart.
But hang on one second. If we swipe,
Yeah.
did we fuck that night?
I
No.
think you guys should have redate.
No.
Sorry, I forgot you stopped.
Have
playing
you
the
guys
fuck me.
stopped?
I forgot. For some reason, I was like, he likes me again.
I love you deeply.
What was your question?
Are you guys are like, do you still occasionally just sleep together? Or
No.
you're just like, we're not,
No sex, no.
no, like,
no,
we
no, no,
can't
no,
go
no.
there.
But like we're still really the hard thing to break is the tenderness and the huggy.
that to me, anyone can have sex with anyone. Like,
Yeah.
no girls, I think people would be way more jealous of like you two have this bond that it's tricky. The guys that come into my life, I haven't even dated like a comedian, but I say to people, I'm like, you will never be as close to me as Nick, ever.
Right.
Ever.
Right.
We can have kids together. And that's okay. And you'll just find the person that's okay with it. The guy that I'm with, he's very busy. He's a veterinarian.
Yeah.
He works a lot. He doesn't have a ton of emotional needs, and he loves Nick. And it's the three of us. It's perfect.
Yeah, I think the dreadful situation I imagine is meeting some girl and then her slowly trying to get me to hate Khalyla.
I don't think they'd.
And if that started to happen, I would just cut that fucking cancer out.
You would. You'd have to.
But yeah, I think that's what's tricky right now is like when I see him, how to break the habit of wanting to just hug him or be close. What about you? Is that like
Well, I've been trying to
like break away a little bit?
break away and do the boundary
I have
thing.
too, by the way.
Yeah, yeah,
Have
it's
you
hard.
noticed?
I have
I'm
noticed,
trying.
It's gonna take, and it's also like y'all are so like, there's no like resentments or like this is so mature and it's so adult. Like it helps me because I'm in recovery for love addiction and don't mean to
you
brag.
are?
But yeah,
Yeah.
but you put these bottom lines down where it's like if you're going through a breakup or starting, you just go like, okay, for this next week we're gonna be easier on ourselves and we're gonna do whatever. This next week we're gonna just not hug and just fist bump. Just like to put like
Yeah.
it's
Well,
not.
I
it's
was
just
talking to my
rules in place.
therapist, and she said 6 months ago. She said she was talking about. I don't know why we're talking about people that get divorced, and I go
Because we were talking about our relationship.
right,
recently,
and
I
she was
think.
and basically she's like, not all of them, and with the custody battle, and you know what I mean. A lot of divorces end in a loving, mindful way. You know what I mean, thinking of all the people around them. And doing it in a way where the relationships are still intact and there's still deep love for the child as well if there's children involved. And I thought to myself, if I ever did break up with Khalyla, that's the only way that I could do it because, I think TigerBelly is our child. You know what I mean? We have 7 animals.
yeah.
And there's a lot of things.
That's a tricky one. The
And
animal.
you didn't just love each other; you like each other.
I
Yeah.
really like
you
I
it.
like
love
them
each
too,
other
yeah.
and like each other.
She's okay.
It's just you've
Hit the road.
done so much work in this era,
Yeah.
And it's like we make fun of conscious uncoupling, that whole Gwyneth Paltrow thing,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
like I mean the name's a little tricky, but it's like there's a way to do it that it's so disrespectful to yourself to have 10 years with someone and then be like and make it shitty. It's like that was 10 years of your life. It's sacred
No.
time. I mean, it's like
I don't have it in me. I don't have an ounce of like, I don't-
Resentment.
Yeah.
Well, I know this because even people that you saw in the past in your life are still in your life. I know them.
Right.
Right. So that's how I know. You know what I mean? It's gonna be okay.
And sorry,
she's that type of person.
I think the only thing that hits for women, I think, is going like, I just lost 10 years. You know what I'm saying?
My firm skin
That
years.
is so funny to me. But here's what I'll say about that. This is where I go with that. Or you could have done what I did and just dated I would have rather dated one amazing person for 10 years and built something great than a different idiot every year for 10 years. You know what I mean? And then you get to a situation where you're just like, and I would rather have done that. And then now that I'm a little bit older, when a guy is into me, because I'm not, whatever, my skin is very firm. I use lots of lasers.
You look great.
Thank you. But I'm like the guy that I'm dating now, I'm so into him because he's into me and I'm not 20. There's something that's so much hotter about when the guy that's going to be so obsessed with you and you are in your, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not going to get
guys,
woman in their body.
Guys on Instagram, stop sending me on Instagram, can I fuck Khalyla? What? I'm getting hundreds of guys, now that we broke up, asking me on Instagram direct message and stop fucking doing it.
I could promise you that the first couple times that I have sex will not be with a man. I have made a commitment to
So
eating
I have a
pussy
problem,
for a
Whitney.
year.
Can you help me with this?
Yes.
This is Whitney. I couldn't even look him in the face when this happened. So yeah, she's the right person for this.
Okay, so last week we sat down after one of our podcasts and we decided, let's reach out to comics we haven't had or performers that could be guests on TigerBelly. So what I did is I went to my phone, my contact list.
Here's what I'll say. I think when listening to the Neil one, Neil Brennan, which I love, by the way, it is weird because you don't want to ask people to be on your podcast because it's like, you're like, but so many people ask. We don't normally have to ask.
Right.
Am I making any sense?
No, I don't get what you're saying.
Well, just when Neil was like, how come you haven't asked me to be on? I would shoot myself in the head before I'd ask Neil to be on my podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then you're like, well, why haven't you asked me? And I'm like, why haven't you asked me? It's just like, there's no consistent procedure yet.
This
protocol.
is beyond that. This is beyond that nightmare.
This is beyond that nightmare. So I went through my whole and I was, there's some names in here. I was like, you know what? They're gonna say no, but I'm gonna reach out anyway, right?
New Bob
is like,
a self-worth.
Yeah, and so
Bobby Lee.
So and people that had said no in the past, I reached out to, like Sebastian Maniscalco, and he wants to do it now. We're trying to find a date. And there's other ones. So I went down and I got down to the T's, right?
Titus.
And I saw Daniel Tosh in my phone
You
D Tosh.
Such a fucking masochist. Oh my God. Okay.
All right, so I go, hey, it's Bobby Lee. This probably isn't your number anymore, but can you do my podcast, please? I love you. That's what I said. He responds right away. He goes, Bobby, I would love to, brother. Here, have your folks send me the details. And he's like, thank God I didn't change my number. Right?
So sweet.
Sweet.
Lovely.
So I go, thanks, dude. Exclamation. He goes, of course, I'm honored. And I almost cried. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's, something's going on.
Is he a Scientologist now? What happened
Yeah,
to Tosh?
so the next day, it says, Bobby, your podcast today, I'm so sorry about you and Khalyla. He goes all into it. And then he goes, then this is where it gets fishy. He goes, let's get together this weekend. I'll be in LA. It'd be great to catch up. Love you, man. So I'm like, wow, he's religious or I don't know. Like, I'm around. It's been tough. Let's get coffee or something. Let me know. Then he responds right away. Say strong, brother. And then this and that. And then I look up at, I don't have his picture saved. But I looked up into this photo right here.
Oh my God.
And it says Tosh. I don't know what that means. So I Googled Tosh, and it's the same Indian guy.
Wait, I didn't even know this.
I told you, Whitney.
Sit down, please.
I had such secondhand embarrassment over
Oh my
this.
God.
Right.
Wait, who is this guy?
Right.
He's
I don't.
CEO of.
So
A diverse person?
Yes.
right. So I saved D Tosh, and I should have put Tosh as the anyway.
It's okay.
I saved it as
Googled
D
him.
Tosh. So then I go, hey Tosh, I thought I was texting with Daniel Tosh, the comedian. Sorry for the miscommunication and misunderstanding. Ha ha ha. I'm so sorry. And then he goes,
Let me stop you. Hold on.
Yeah.
The fact that Tosh sent you to his people is the craziest part of this.
Wait, who is he?
Exactly.
But I looked him up. He is the CEO of this company. It's like a tech company.
What?
So like he does have people.
Why is he in your phone?
But this is how I changed, because in the past I would have gone, I'm just gonna have him on my podcast.
The fact that he didn't,
we always
this
have this guy, Tosh, some random guy on our podcast,
CEO.
just because I fucked up on the whole thing.
Tosh, yeah, he's the founder of Charge.
We got to have him on.
The fact
I
that
think we have to have him on now.
He
I think
should
we
have
have-
known, like, this isn't for me.
Yeah, so in my head, right, I'm
What
like,
a narcissist was like, he I'm sure this happens. Anyone that has a name similar to a famous person, it happens all the time.
but they don't have a similar name.
Daniel Tosh and Tosh.
Yeah, that's his first
Okay,
name.
if a comedian that is not known for having all,
Right.
the cards in the deck, texts you about his
this is how-
podcast, he should have deduced, like, oh, he's probably talking about Daniel Tosh.
Right. But this is how dumb I am and how I don't read things. So his initial response was, love to, brother, have your folks send me the details.
By the way, in the fact,
email.
like, I already knew it wasn't Tosh when he was like, I listened to your episode of Tiger.
I know.
Sorry about
But
your
this-
breakup. Like,
he goes, miss you so much. Vix and I got to see you at the comedy club a few weeks ago.
you should
So
have.
in my head, I'm like, who's Vix? I don't know no Vix, all right? Because I know Tosh's
Can you
wife.
imagine Tosh watching a comedy show?
I know, and he would have called it the store, not comedy club. I mean, there's just so many signs. But in my head, I'm
he's like, I saw your skit down at the comedy club. You're like, what?
yeah.
How? Yeah.
Yeah. So not only did I not fuck you, man. Fuck you.
When he came home and told me this story, I was like, get out of my face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of my
Remember I called you and I called him, I go, don't email the guy.
I was so disappointed. I bragged to so many friends. We're going to finally get Daniel Tosh on for the 5 years.
Do
I
you
love that
have
guy.
Tosh's?
No, I don't even have his fucking number, dude.
You have his? Can we FaceTime him?
No, don't FaceTime now. I'm so embarrassed. Please don't. Not right now.
Well, you just don't respond. It'll go away. You just have to not respond.
No, I already did. I said. I mean, he said he at the
apologized.
end. I apologized, and at the end he goes, "It's all good. Yeah, it would be the first. Cheers."
Okay.
But now I have to get Tosh on here, just for like at least 15 minutes, and go.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Would it?
We,
I feel like we milked that for all it was worth. I
Yeah.
feel like that was the perfect ending to the story, and it's over.
Yeah.
I feel like it's
Anyway,
over.
so do you think I handled it well?
Not particularly. But yeah, that's just a nightmare. But the bigger question is, Tosh, has he ever done a podcast? I'm trying.
That's why I thought, oh my God, he
the
doesn't
fir-
do all the
you're the
other
first
ones,
one.
right? So I'm like,
Yeah.
this is going to be great for me.
It was
You know?
worse for me because when he said Khalyla, sorry about you and Khalyla's, but I was like, he knows who I am. I was so excited.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong. I mean, if I saw Daniel Tosh on the street, he would hug me and we talk.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, he's the nicest guy in the world, but I just don't have the kind of relationship with
Yeah.
him like I have
Yeah.
with others. You know what I mean?
It is weird though because there are sometimes that comedians, especially now after the pandemic, I think people who they really are is coming out. People that used to be toxic are kind of now like healed. People have had to make a decision at the age we are whether they're going to heal or stay assholes. And sometimes people that were rough or rude or that you were scared of now are like, hey man, so good. People have come out the other side, either better or worse in a way.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense with all these cancellations, or I don't know what it is, but there's been a little bit of a reckoning. And like I was really nervous to ask Gabriel Iglesias to come on my podcast.
Oh.
Like I was just like I don't really know him. I'm a fan. Like I've seen him, but we're not like I've never. He's just like always selling out stadiums. He's not at the Comedy Store hanging out. And I DM'd him, and I was like, he'll probably never respond. And I was like, hey, do you want to come? Right away, yep, absolutely. I'm there in August. I'd love to come. And it was like, of course he would be like that, but it was just kind of
One of the nicest guys in the world.
I was,
Get Gabriel on there.
yeah. I love. Hey, not before I have him on. And
I want to see if he'll pick up for me right now.
but I'm just saying, I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Of course he's nice, but there are times where someone that is really nice wants to do your podcast right away, or like, this is cool. I guess it's,
I don't have his number.
sometimes it's surprising. I get what it's like to go you were intoxicated by just that. Yeah, the answer yes.
Yeah.
And I think there's something really sweet and sort of innocent about just going like, yeah, this is Tosh. He's just this guy now.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Not that he's not that guy. I'm just saying that,
but
like,
he's no comic.
there's no way he's going to respond with a gigantic chunk
Anyone
of
that
detail.
is a comic that's coming on the podcast is going to, I'm not going to talk about the breakup here. I'm going to talk about it when I fucking go on there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A comic would have held it, been like, see you the 15th, not going to say anything else.
Right.
Well, I'll save it for the content.
Also, I should have just looked. You know, the biggest giveaway was I should have just looked at this upper photo of an Indian guy.
Yeah, but your vision's not good lately.
I'm going to update it. Name and
Just
photo.
delete that person.
No.
You can't. You're going to make this mistake again.
Now he's on the thing.
You didn't, based on those rectangles, those are
long
those are
paragraph.
rectangles. Those are vertical rectangles. I could have told, you could flip that around. I could have told you that wasn't Tosh from over here.
Oh, right here. That's
Yes,
long.
that's
Yeah,
not
there's no
Tosh.
way. There's
Not
no way.
Tosh.
Yeah, they're one sentence.
No.
Yeah. Like Sebastian's. I can read you Sebastian's.
Oh, hilarious.
Yeah, I can read you Sebastian's. Sebastian's is
This is a fun game. Let's go through. Let's do this. Last text Santino sent you.
okay, so yeah.
Let's do last text.
This is usually
last text of famous.
This is usually a comedian's back and forth,
Okay.
right? Just boom, 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 right?
Okay.
Well, yeah.
What's the last text?
By the way, this is my exchange with Sebastian. Just look at the blue.
Yeah.
On the right is me, and the left is him.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
One word.
One word.
One word.
Yeah.
Respond to
That's him.
literally one word.
Yeah.
This is desperado.
Let's see. Andrew
By
sent.
the way, Sebastian makes me feel like I'm chasing a guy in high school. Just like always, always.
Yeah.
I'm like, Sebastian's here. Should I say hi? And he's like, hey, what's up? I'm like, okay, say hi.
Yeah.
Still.
He's a private guy.
We're very good friends. I mean,
I
it's,
love him
just,
too.
It's you never.
Yeah. You never know.
You know.
Yeah.
What was your last Santino text?
Well, he's out of town.
Well, no, I know, but he's.
Santino.
So the last text.
I can't even find it.
Mine says, "Oh my God, so cool."
Okay, not bad. Like there's those games people are like the fourth to last photo on your phone, and
Right.
You know. What is it?
Oh, here we go. Yeah, for him, it's all him and not me. Right? It's all him and not me, which I feel bad about. Yeah, but it's all mostly him. But it's him because he acts as if I'm his like annoying little brother, even though I'm much older than him. And he's like, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, and it's him nagging a lot. You know what I mean?
He's the responsible older
Because he's the
brother.
responsible guy on the podcast. I don't think without him there would be bad friends. You know what I mean?
Right. He kind of is the.
Unhelpful advice. This is too long.
Unhelpful Advice with Whitney Cummings.
Are you? Am I bombing that? I always feel like I'm bombing.
You're
this.
killing it.
This is great.
This is. I could go on. Listen, honestly, when we
I-
do, shut the fuck up for a second. Let me say something. All right.
I just came.
Usually at 30 minutes, I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm looking for the fucking the ghost. See that ghost right there?
Yes, I do.
That ghost is on there when it's at what?
Around an hour.
An hour.
Okay,
Right.
I love you.
So usually at 30
Thank
minutes,
you.
I'm always looking for the ghost. I just realized the ghost was there.
Thank you. Oh, good.
Yeah, I mean, which means.
Because you were looking at this ghost. Oh, my special comes out July 26th.
Hey, Chief.
yeah, let's do
yeah.
that.
You want to promote, Chief?
Sure.
Yeah, come on, Chief.
My special's on Netflix. It's called Jokes.
Oh, awesome. And when does it air?
July 26th.
All right, everyone.
So it's
please-
out. I think it's out.
It's out.
Yeah, it's out. Please watch. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's great. I haven't seen it. Go ahead.
Hi, guys. First, I love Khalyla. By the way, the headline is Your Girl from Saudi Arabia. I'm 25 years old, studying abroad.
Allowed to read? She's not from Saudi Arabia. You can read and write? It's already a...
Well, I'm 25, studying abroad in
Oh,
London.
good.
In London, alone.
Okay.
It's been almost a year, and I haven't made any friends other than my classmates. It's getting boring, and I'm afraid I'm wasting my time at this great opportunity in London. I know it kind of sounds lame, but what would you suggest I do to make friendships? I do go out, explore, wasting my money on brunches, but it would be fun with someone, and I don't do anything spontaneous with strangers, as I'm very paranoid about getting murdered, especially that I live alone. And I don't
In London?
In London.
Not from your hometown, Saudi Arabia?
I don't have anyone to trust to go out with. What do you think I should do? Her name is RF.
Friends. How old is she? 25. Making
25.
friends at 25.
From Saudi Arabia.
Hold on. I feel like we're missing. She is worried she's going to get murdered, which is why she won't go out.
Or meet,
I don't think-
meet strangers
It sounds
to
like
go out with.
It sounds like there's some deep trauma.
mistrust.
Saudi
yeah,
Arabia?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even think of that. That doesn't even pop in my head.
When someone says, I can't talk to strangers, I'm worried about being murdered, or maybe she's joking. Maybe
No. But also, women are. You know, I mean, don't you think that it's just a dangerous world out there, and women just have a higher?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
And
I mean-
I think this everyone listening to these murder podcasts, I think gives you a
Yeah.
exaggerated sense of But that to be afraid of being murdered, that feels like something that needs to be like a paranoia or a fear.
Yeah.
If I didn't have the comedy clubs to go to or alcohol AA meetings, I would have no friends, right? So my suggestion to her is to find some. I know you're friends with your classmates, right? But to join some sort of club.
Murder someone, go to jail, and you'll have a roommate.
Yeah. But find something, you know what I mean, that
Like a hobby.
that's an interest, that's a hobby, or
by the way, get a job. That's how most people meet their friends at work.
That's true. That's
at what
true.
you do. So I'm not saying maybe she doesn't need one, but just like working at a cafe for 3 hours.
A part-time job.
Part-time job.
Yeah.
If she's on a student visa, that does have restrictions.
Okay. How about can you do service work?
Sex work?
What?
Yeah, he worked like illegally at a bar.
Oh yeah, just
It's
under
easy
the
to get a legal
table.
job.
Yeah.
An under the table job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's a fun one in like a bar, like where there's a lot of patrons and people you can, talk to in like a safe-ish
Yeah.
environment.
Sure.
Is there some sort of Saudi Arabian like club?
Saudi Arabia is
Like some sort of like
Nightclub?
No, because if I came to LA from Korea, I would go to Koreatown and I would go to, you know what I mean, like not a
Cafe Blue or no?
Yeah, Cafe Blue and hang out like, amongst like-minded or people that look like me, you know what I mean? I don't know.
What? What?
Were you at the,
It just
insurrection?
It just sounds. No, what do you mean what?
That's
What do you mean, what?
weird. So you're saying when I came here from the Philippines, I should have just looked for Filipinos?
Wouldn't you feel more comfortable with Filipinos?
Oh, the Mexicans took me and the Filipinos shunned me.
Same thing, close. I mean, it's like you went to the closest thing. Like for me,
If there were no Koreans, what would be the next?
Filipinos.
I thought you were saying Chinese or something.
No, because from Minnesota, when I was a kid, I lived in Minnesota from 2 to 10. Then we moved to San Diego, right? And I was always around white people, right, in Minnesota. And so when I went to this new school, I congregated to like the Filipino kids, and they all had mustaches, and they were my age. They had full-blown mustaches, and they were named Santiago or whatever, right? And I'd be hanging out with them, you know what I mean? Yeah. And like, how come you can't grow a mustache like me? Because I'm 11. You know what I mean? You fucking mutant. But my point is that you don't you. Is that not a thing?
I don't know how to make.
But I guess one thing. This is not helpful advice for now. This is for in 10 years. I believe you only need like 3 or 4 good friends. As someone that was like a friend hoarder for the longest time, there's like the more friends I have, the more loved I must be, or the more, and then you are stressing out trying to service them all, and then you're like, I'm a bad friend to everyone, But I think that meeting people through work is always a good thing, keeps you busy. But that's very interesting because I guess she wasn't able to, because a lot of people are friends with people they went to high school with. In Saudi Arabia, are you not allowed to fraternize or something? Like, or I guess it's because she's in London now.
Anyway.
Sorry.
What I want to say to you is thank you for Clubhouse.
There's no more advice?
Why do you want to keep going? I want to have fucking dinner, dude. You know what I mean? I want to move on with my life, man. This was a great episode. You know what? If we kept going, I would want more material so that we could save the episode, but we already killed it, so why would I need to go more?
That's new Bob.
All right, I'm not doing it anymore, all right?
Okay.
You fucking killed it. We got what we needed. We got your shit out. Netflix, July, whenever it comes out. July, whenever it comes out. It's a hit, man. And also, I want to say that we learned a lot, and it was a pleasure for you to have here now. You know what I mean? And that's Gary Cannon's around.
Are you coming to the Comedy Store tonight?
Yeah, I'll see you tonight. Give her a round of applause. Thank you.